Hey, 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 everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Shop tonight. We have such a great episode for you all. We've had so many people asking us about credit. Credit has been a huge topic. How about my credit? I don't know about my credit. I don't know if I can buy a home because of my credit. So, you know what? I have Melanie back. Yeah, we love Melanie. She's back with us tonight to share some tips about credit with you. So I'm going to bring her in. Melanie Overmo. Yay. Hi, Mel. How are you?
Hi. Good. The last time you guys all saw me, I was living life on the beach in Puerto Vallarta and enjoying all things Mexico. So, although I'm glad to be back, we were very sad to leave. So, I'm happy to be doing this tonight. I'm getting a lot of questions about credit as well. So, I think it's something that it's very important that we take the time to discuss.
I agree. Absolutely. And I know that sometimes when my clients, and maybe yours as well, are talking to me about credit, they often, one of the first things that they ask is about, how do I qualify? So, can you just touch a little bit on that? I know that's probably a whole topic for another episode, but could you please share a little bit more about how you qualify for a loan, a home loan?
Absolutely. So, I've been doing this for 18 years, and one of the things I did very early on in my career was attend a class about credit scores, how credit scores were derived, how to improve credit scores, and literally how to make credit scores kind of give them like a brain, like a personality, and what it thinks about you and how it translates to real life. So, I'm very good at doing that and analyzing credit. In general, anything above a 580 credit score is generally a go. You might have to have your own down payment. Obviously, the higher your credit score, the better the interest rate, but not necessarily better the loan. With really good loan programs with 30-year fixed mortgages with a 580 score. We can go below 580, but then your down payment might change and or some of the circumstances of the loan might change. Theoretically, FHA or VA can go down to a 500 credit score. I posted
so
on my
people pick that up. Pick
yeah,
that up.
yes,
She said
exactly.
580 and even to 500. Yes, she did
Exactly.
say that. Yes, you're hearing her correct.
Yes. My goal would be to do a little bit of credit repair to get your scores up to get you a better interest rate. And I'm happy to do that. I do that for free and at any time. And then it looks like I'm going to need to plug in my computer. Sorry. But at the same time, my goal is to get you into a house also as quickly as possible and with the best loan possible. So if you're looking for down payment assistance and you need some help in that department, then the score does need to be a little bit higher. We're looking at something similar to I'm sorry, guys, all of a sudden my cord isn't working. So,
of course, that only happens when we're live.
right? Seriously, I'm like, what is going on? So we, 640
You were
is kind
saying
of the
if
general.
you need assistance with credit recovery, you do need it to be a little bit higher.
Correct. 640 would be better. I'm going to have my husband
640.
check out what's going on with my cord here so I don't lose you guys. So 640 would be better. We can do some down payment assistance down to 600. Not my preferred. It's not what's in the best interest of the buyer, although,
Right.
we can refi within the first 6 months.
Yeah. And I want to encourage those of you viewing this episode right now, whether you're watching live and give us some thumbs up if you're watching live. We love seeing you out there. But even if you're watching as a replay, please put your questions and comments in the comments. So we'd be more than happy to stop and address your questions. So please do that. And if you are watching as a replay, we will get back to you. So
Absolutely.
please do that. So Melanie, with all that said, we have an idea of what it takes to qualify and a little bit more about the credit scores. And again, yes, you heard her correctly. So I know that so many people are wondering, well, what are some of the main things? What are your top tips for credit recovery? Whoa, now it's happening to me.
grab the cord out of my backpack.
My
I'll be
lights
right back.
just went nuts.
Well,
So,
I'm really
Melanie, why
hoping
don't you
this
share a little bit about your top tips?
I'm gonna just look real quick at my computer and make sure I'm charging. Okay, I'm charging. We're good. We're not gonna shut off. We're good. So in general, my first rule of thumb is you should always, if you have credit challenges, talk to a loan officer, talk to me. A lot of times what I see people do is they pay off things that I would not necessarily advise to be done. What you think may need to happen is not what I need to have happen. Collections do not automatically disqualify you. Charge-offs do not automatically disqualify you. Recent lates do not automatically disqualify you. All of those things need to be looked at on an individual basis to see how it impacts your score and what we can do to overcome that. So just because you've had a recent late or a recent event does not mean you cannot get a mortgage.
So I want to go back over that again. So I know a lot of you are like, wait a minute, that pertains to me. That pertains to me. No, that pertains to me, or many of those pertain to me. So yes, and if you're watching this as a replay, rewind and go back over that list again, because she's talking about a lot of different things that can help you, and you know, some things that are not going to impede your chances of buying a home. Right?
Correct. People think, oh, I had this thing happen. I had a late payment. I missed a payment on my car, or I missed, I've had it happen myself, or I had a collection pop up I didn't even really know about. Medical collections. All of the rules around medical collections have changed.
Yeah.
Anything under $500 has to be removed as of the end of the first quarter, which is this month, from your credit. So if you have a small medical collection that's affecting your credit score, that should be gone in the next couple of months. And if it's not, then you need to talk to somebody who can help you get that off. And that's really, really important. Also, if you have medical bills, the waiting period for the creditors to put that on your credit has gone from 6 months to a year. So if you have something that pops up and you have this $80 copay that you totally forgot about because you had to go to the emergency room, they can't put that on your collection, on your credit as a collection for a full 12 months.
So that helps so much.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you might find that something shows up in your credit history that it's just a letter to say, hey, why is this here? That was never an issue. And I even have a receipt or an invoice or something that shows I paid that and I paid it on time. Take it off. So sometimes you can have those things taken off as well. And that really helps. So
I will tell you personally, I had happen when my son was little, and I want to make this very brief, but it really makes the point. He had to go to an urgent care center. He needed stitches. They billed the urgent care center, but said that the doctor was not covered. And they put a collection on my credit and I'd ignored it forever, right? I was like, whatever, I'm not paying that. I don't owe that bill. Then came the time when my credit mattered and I had to look at it. I called the insurance. I didn't even have that insurance anymore. I had moved on. I think I had moved from Redding to Sacramento. And I was like, I don't owe this. So long story short, I went back to the insurance agency. I went back to the clinic where we had the work done and found out that the wrong billing code was submitted. So that billing code didn't cover that doctor at that facility. And boom, just like that, that medical collection was taken off. But the problem is our customers, our clients don't understand how this works and don't have those tools. So myself and you, Mickey, we're the ones that need to help educate them to be able to help repair those things and make that stuff go away.
Absolutely. So speaking of that, now let's say somebody is watching right now and they're like, okay, yes, I want to get this taken care of. How would you go about getting a plan put together?
So I will do a free credit analysis. We do a soft credit pull that allows us to pull your credit, see the scores, see what's going on without impacting your credit score. Although if you have good credit, I'm also going to tell you this whole thing about an inquiry hurting your credit is absolutely malarkey. all of our credit scores go in 20-point buckets. So 720 to 740, 740 to 760, on and on, up and down. So pulling your credit one time is not going to ding your credit enough to disqualify you from a mortgage.
Right.
So anyway, going back to the question, I will do a free review and set you up on a plan. I have a report that I can run. They're extremely accurate these days, much more accurate than when I started 18 years ago. And we can devise a plan to get you into that at no charge. If your credit really needs some very significant help, I do partner with somebody who is a genuine credit repair company and not a sham. It's called Sam Parker's My Credit Guy, and we can get you partnered with them to help. They have a team of lawyers that will actually help negotiate and get things off. It's not just writing willy-nilly letters that don't mean anything.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you might be able to get your credit repaired in weeks. We know that if it's like really, if you really, really, truly do have some messy stuff, I mean, as long as you've got a plan, you can get this repaired quite quickly. So I know Melanie has helped so many of my clients that I have sent to her, and she's been able to counsel them or coach them and help them see that, oh, all I have to do is really pay off that bill. That's going to boost. But, this one I'm going to keep paying on and other things. I mean, you've just been able to just help so many people. And I just appreciate you coming back on to share more of your tips tonight and help people understand this a little bit better. Thank you.
I can't wait to do more. The one other thing I want to point out is that people don't understand is revolving credit is king.
Yes.
After the mortgage meltdown in 2007, 2008, they discovered that the use of revolving credit had more to do with making your payments on time than your car payments or your rent or anything like that. So you have to have a couple of really solid, what we call trade lines. So accounts are trade lines. With low balance to credit limit. So if your credit limit is $300, what I tell people is go get a tank of gas, although gas is a lot more now than it was when I started doing this, or a bag of groceries, and same with that, $10 to $50 a month, and keep that on there, $10 to $50 a month. Pay it, charge it, pay it, charge it. If you have to charge it up, pay that balance back down before the statement actually comes out. So if your statement's going to cycle on the 15th, pay that bill like the 13th. Then it tricks the system into thinking that you always kept that low balance throughout the cycle. What reports on your credit is what's on the statement. So when your statement cycles, that's what the credit report sees.
Okay. So I'm just going to be transparent here. I do auto pay, like, for example, my credit cards, and I have that payment go in on the due date. So are you saying if I change the day it's paid, like to a couple of days before, because it's not really neither here nor there really at that point for me. So if I go 2 days earlier, that's going to help my credit boost up even more, perhaps?
Perhaps. Now, the distinction of payment date versus statement date. So like my credit cards, they cycle, come due, they get reviewed. I believe it's the 10th, and then they're due the 14th or 15th or something like that. Okay. I can't remember. If I'm going to pay a balance down, I want to do it before that statement comes out. Once that statement's out, that's what reports on your credit report. It is extremely common for me to have somebody come to me and say, I have 800 credit. I pay my bills off every single month in full. I have no debt. And I pull their credit report and we have thousands of dollars in debt and or a credit card that's completely maxed out and their score is like down in the 680s because when that statement comes out, that card is maxed out or is high balance. It's all about that credit limit to balance at the statement cycle time. It's a little trick nobody talks about.
Wow. Yeah, I'll be changing some things around.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I work hard to keep up my credit, just,
Me too.
but
Mhm.
now I can make it even better.
Well, the reality is we have a month. We might go on a trip. Like I said, I just
Mhm.
got back from Mexico. You know, my credit card balances were a little high last month. They looked at my credit score and I
Sure.
went, holy crap. But if had I paid those down before the statements came out, nobody would have been the wiser.
Right. That's a great tip right there. Huge
Mhm.
tip. So pay before the statement date,
Date.
not the payment due date.
Correct. But I will caution you, very cautious here. If you are not paying that card in full, when the statement comes out, you're still going to have a balance and a minimum
True.
payment due,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the statement still
Yeah.
has that statement still has a due date. So you got to make sure you're paying attention. It is a little tricky, but you can trick the system and keep that between 10 and 30% of your credit limit to debt ratio to credit limit. Put it that way.
Oh, that's great. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And again, for those of you watching, please feel free to drop your questions in the comments. Tag us, please. You see our names, so tag us, and we will get back to you ASAP. And throw us some likes and some hearts. We always love that. It makes us feel special. Thank you so much. And Melanie, we're going to have you back.
Wait, I'd love to do this. You guys let us know what your questions are. This is free advice, and you can message me. You can message Mickey. We're never going to make fun of you. We're never going to judge. If I frequently tell my story when I talk to people who have credit things and the things I've been through. Been through a divorce. I've been through a bankruptcy. I've been through foreclosure. I've rebuilt everything. Lost everything. I'm happy to share that because that takes the fear away for the people that I talk to, and I want to help them rebuild that and be able to own a home and to be able to be proud to do that. That's what makes me do my job.
Yep, you are a testament that you really can recover your credit and just do amazing, just flourish.
Absolutely.
So, yes, please put the topics that you're interested in the comments, and we will be back again in a couple of weeks to share more with you. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Melanie.
Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.